Welcome back, guys. So in this video we're gonna continue on the same application and the same code we used in the previous videos, but what we are gonna do is we're gonna add some of the widgets. So I'm planning to add the layer list, the legend, and we already added the editor, and we can add Basemap gallery, we can add scale bar, and we can add search, and we can add print. We'll see how much we can add on our UI, but you can add as many widgets as you want, and widgets are really easy tools to add to create something that usually every single application does have it. So I'm going to start by the search. We'll add the search. So I'll click on the search. I will see that I need to use the search here as usual, and I'm going to go back to my code. Before I make any changes, I'm going to save this file as we do in every single video. I'm going to call it 5 add widgets, so you know the difference in the code. So here we are going to add widget called search, and we're gonna add the search here as well. Oh, you need to add a comma. Save it. And in the sample code we will see like the search widget can be created a new search. The view will be the view. Add in the UI on the top left index number 2, and that's like if you have two controls on top of each other, this is gonna be the one on the top for the UI. So here I'm gonna take this code and add it as it is. In initializing, here we initialize the map view. On map view, this is the sketch. Here we're gonna add search widget. Gonna add the code here, make sure it looks nice in the right place. Search widget equals search view. Our view is called map view, so we can copy it from anywhere and add it here. Map view.ui.add search widget on the top left. That's all what you need to do for this widget to work. So when we refresh the page here, you're gonna see on the top left side of the map we will see the search widget. It didn't show up, so that means something is not right in this code. Oh, so what happened is that I was actually running the previous application. I need to close this one. It's the same mistake I do every video, but I wanted to make separate pages or separate files for you to be able to differentiate between what we're working on. So here you go. Here's the search one. Put it here so we can have it right here. We can change the index and see what's gonna happen. Like if we change the index to 0 and we refresh the page, what's gonna happen is gonna be on the top, and I think that's a better place for it. So when you put multiple controls on the same corner, so here we already have the zoom in zoom out control that is connected to the map, and here we have the search. So when you put index 0 is gonna be on the top. This now index 1, if you add another control you can put it as index 2 and it's going to be at the bottom. So the index is the order of how they are on top of each other. So this is the search here. For example, we can search for Atlanta and it's going to give us suggestions. Atlanta, Georgia. When you click on it, it zooms there and it gives you the location and give you the pop-up. All this automatically happen from the search. It's a really easy, great tool, and it's connected to all of the features that you have on your map, and especially addresses. You can search for 620 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia, address here. Israeli address is, I think it's 380 New York Street in Redlands. I can't remember the exact address, but you can search for any address in the US, or you can search for cities. You can use this search widget for a lot of things. So that's our search. The next widget we will add, let's go back here, API reference. We are going to add the scale bar, and that should also be a simple, easy one. So here we're going to take the scale bar. Remember that you always need to take the reference before you do anything, because without it, it wouldn't work. Here scale bar, and we're gonna add the scale bar to the bottom left side of the map. Let's see how can we add it. Same way that we do for everything. We just take here the copy the code from here to initialize it, and inside of add search widget here we will say add scale bar, paste this code here. copy, paste, and make sure your code looks organized. Scale bar view, again the map view is our map view here. The name is different. Scale bar, I'm gonna put it bottom left, exactly, that's where I want it to go. So what I need to do now is to come refresh the page, and I should be able to see a scale bar on the left side here. Great. So this is a very easy widget. So you can change how the scale bar looks like. So here we have some properties, and I'm sure one of these properties are the style. The style here, we can change the style, see what kind of styles we have: non-metric, metric, or dual. So we can change it to non-metric. It's a string, so we can say the style, oh, the style is ruler or line. So let's make it ruler and see how that gonna look like. So here I will say the map scale bar, map view, and here comma, the style is ruler. We can change that. So I'm just showing you what properties you can change, and also you can change the unit, and the unit could be non-metric, metric, or dual. So let's make it dual. Here, dual. And now we can refresh the page, and we're gonna see that the widget changed. See how it looks like right now. So this is how you can customize your widgets. You need to look at the references and look at the references and look at what properties you can change. Here you can change if it's visible or not. You can, there's methods for it, and this methods like you can, if you want, when it's changed, you want to do something, you can on and make the event associated with this on. Like when it's changed, you can see what things this widget can do for you and what things you can customize in this widget. So that's how you can add the scale bar. It's very easy. You can add it to the top here on the bottom right or the bottom left, anywhere you want based on the properties you give it. So here it's bottom left. So after we have the search and the scale bar, let's see what else we can add. So if we go back to the API references and we looked at the widgets, we can add a legend, but we already have a legend here associated with our editor, so we don't need to add another legend unless you need to. That's a different thing you can do. It's very simple, as we added the scale bar and like the search, but what we want to do is the layer lists. Let's add the layer list to our application, and this is one of the important things that most likely need to be in every application, is the layer list. So we're gonna go to the layer list widget, copy the reference, and do the exact same thing we did with every single library, and we look what the code does here. Layer list, okay, we initialize it here at the view and add it to the UI. We can add it to the UI, or we can add it to a container, so we'll see if the container gonna work. So here I'm gonna put it here, add layer list, and this is how you can add a layer list. Create a new layer list, and the map view will be here, and map view.ui.add layer list to the top left. We have the editor there, so maybe we can actually change that, or actually like hide this because we don't need it. And we can add container, and we can create a new container all the way down at the UI. We can make that called layer list, and we can create a new div inside of it, div id layer list container. That's the ID for it. We are gonna use to define the container for the layer list. So going back, I'm just scrolling up and down quickly to find the code, and here your container is this one. Let's see if that's gonna work right away, or it's gonna give us some issues for the container. So I don't see the layer list show up here. So let's see if there is an example out of the container, because usually they put it to the map. So if I put the layer list to the map, let's undo this and copy that, uncomment this and put it on the bottom bottom right, I mean, bottom right. And let's see how this is going to show up. So here we have the layer list. It did work, but when I give it as a container and put it inside this div, it doesn't work. Like the sketch did work fine for adding it in a container, but for the layer list it did not, unfortunately. And I'm not sure why exactly, but here, as you can see the layer list, and you can hide the layer, you can show the layer and show you what layers inside your map. And this layer here is your graphic layer. So for example, if we did what we did last time and we have some graphics on the map, I can hide it and show it from here, or I can clear the results from here. So this is the layer list. Let's give it another try, see why it's not showing up in the container. So what I want to compare it with, I want to compare it with the sketch, because the sketch did work in the right place right away. So here we have a sketch, creation mode single, that's not related, container, sketch container, and here we have the div sketch container. So it's exactly the same thing, but it's not showing up as it should. Maybe it's the class content open. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because it's not important right now, as much as we can see the layer list on the map, but we can try to look around and try to figure out why it's not showing as other controls. So we can come here, let's make sure we add it to the container. So here, layer list container is your layer list container, and let's comment this code. This should go away right now. Container. Okay, container is container. Oh, I need comma here. And save it and go back and refresh. Here you go. So yeah, I think the reason for that is that we couldn't, that the class was not the right one. So what we can do also, let's try that again one more time with another widget. Let's put, for example, that here we can take this entire example and create a new one and call it like editor. We can put the editor in another container, editor widget, and we can just change the order. I want to put it on top of the layer list, and I'm gonna call this one editor with container, editor container, and here I'm gonna go up, and for the editor, which is search widget, we have the editor somewhere. Oh, we have the editor all the way at the bottom, editor, and we can say container. By now you should know exactly what I'm trying to do right now. What I'm trying to do is to put the widget in a different place other than adding it to the map. So I'm gonna not add it to the map and add it to a certain location that I created for it. So when we refresh that, here you go. Here's a widget, editor widget, and here's the layer list. You can add your controls here as much as you want, and it works perfectly fine. So what you want to make sure is that either you want to put your widget on the map or you want to put it on the left side. What I prefer is to put the layer list on the map and the widget to be editor widget on the left side, but it's up to you. You can add as many widgets as you want. Also, you can change the UI. You can find some code, so you can change the class between this places, so you can open it and close it when you click on it. So here we have the layer list. I'm sure there's much more properties we can add to that and things. So here's a container, we used it. The ID, we can give it an ID. Operational items, selected items, view, we added the view, visible elements. So all this is properties, and that you can change. You can customize your widget however you want. If you don't know what a thing is doing, like what a specific thing is doing, you can look at more details to read more about it. So for example, if we looked at operational items, a collection of list items representing operational layers, and operational layers could be feature layer or any other layers, and you tell it this is the layers that you can be operational for this widget. You can read as much as you want about these properties and what each property do, but I suggest always to use the widgets because it's very easy to use and it can give you a lot of flexibility to create things. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm going to change the editor to be where it exists as it is before. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna uncomment this and comment this and remove the comma, and that will keep it on the top right of the map as we did. And we're gonna add something else here. Instead of the editor widget here, I'm gonna keep the layer list, and below the layer list, or actually we can keep it here, I'm gonna call it, and we're gonna add the Basemap gallery. So here the Basemap gallery, we can say Basemap gallery container, and we can see the widget for the Basemap gallery API references, widgets. You can get it from here, or you can find it here. You can find a lot of widgets here. You can even maybe find more than what you find here. We can add the measurement. You have so many different widgets that you can use to make your life much easier and simpler to create your application. So we need to add the Basemap gallery. The Basemap gallery is here. We need to do that as usual, and we go all the way to the top, and we add our references for the Basemap gallery, and here we're gonna do the Basemap gallery. You can take that and put it like on the line below. It's nothing gonna happen. It's okay. And we can have more space to add more things instead of trying to scroll to the right to get it. And we go back here to see what code we can use. We can use this on the top right. Again, you can add it to your map, you can add it to your widget. It's up to you. So we can do that. Add Basemap gallery. We can copy this code here. Alright, so the same thing, change the map view, and I don't think we're gonna add it to the UI, we're gonna add to the container, and for here we say container is, what's the name of the container we have down there? It's Basemap gallery container. Let's go back. Let's go back all the way to the top. Here we go, container is your container name. Save, go back, let's see if that's gonna show up in here. Basemap gallery, great. The map is loaded. Here's the Basemap gallery loaded for us. So again, you can make this hide, show, it's up to you to make it like go up and down, or like I'm not going to focus so much on how the user interface of the application is, because first of all, I'm not a designer. I can change it, but you can search online and say how can I hide and close the panel, or how to hide the div if you don't want it to show up. You can change that and customize it from here. But here we can change the Basemap gallery. It's associated with the map view. You can change it however you want, and you can customize your map the way you want from the Basemap gallery right here. Okay guys, so as I said, you can make this one hide or close. I just found a very quick code online that I can use for these panels, and so let's add it to our code. Here we have, this is the styles for the buttons of the panels on the left side, and here we can, on the initialization here, we can do this code. So it's gonna find every single button that have a class name collapsible, and it's gonna do that for it. If it's active, when you click on it, it's gonna show it. If it's not showing, it's gonna hide it, and it's going to change the class name for it. So what we can do is we can check that out, see if it's working. So we can refresh here, and now we have all the panels open, but when you click on it, you should be able, it should hide. As you see, it should hide it. And here you click on it, you hide it, you can show it, you can hide it. It's like now you can use it the way you want. So this is just a quick example of how you can make your panel open and close. This is completely JavaScript and HTML. It have nothing to do with Esri APIs. It's just a way to customize and change your user interface. You can change this color to anything. If we go to collapsible button style, so here let's search for the style. We have the style here. Here the style, we can make the background color for the collapsible. We can make it anything. We can make it like, for example, green. I'm most likely gonna change that, but let's make it green. I just want to show you that you can change the styles from here, and I expect you know all this by now. And refresh the page, and you will see that when I hover on it, now it's green. So that's the style for the hover, and you can change the style or the color for the background. Here you can change the collapsible one. You can make this one, instead of gray, you can make it let's say light blue. Light blue. So it's up to you how you want to design it. That's something up to you. What I want to do is I want to create content to be closed by default for this ones. So here this is closed. I'll keep all of them closed by default, and I'm gonna come here and refresh the page. So we should have all our widgets closed here, and when you click on any one of them, it's gonna open it. You can hide it, you can close it. Here you go. And we have the Basemap gallery, the last widget we added. As you see, I'm not very good at the colors, so we usually have designers that create the design and the color for us. Maybe you're really good at that. I am not. So here you go. You have this is how you change it and how you add your widgets. You can add as many panels as you want, and you can add as many widgets to them as you want, and all of them working against the map. And you can have multiple map views, you can have multiple maps, you can have multiple layers. And now I think we covered basically what you need to know about all JavaScript APIs in order to be able to how to use the samples, how to use the API references. And in the past videos and in the past hours that we spent together learning about this, by now you should be able to know where to find things and how to add it to your map, and how can you customize your application the way you want. Even if you want to create something from scratch, like how we did with the search widget, or like the here we have the query results, how to query the map, how to use the widgets. So basically we used the sketch widget, the search, the editor, the Basemap gallery, the layer list, the scale bar, and you can add as many widgets as you want from the widgets. But also I showed you how can you make custom code to query a layer. That was the example we used when an event happened. So the event was sketch on create, it was completed. On that we made a query towards the feature layer, and when we received the response, we went through the features, and for each feature we highlighted on the map using the graphics. So the graphics need geometry and needs symbology, and then we added to the graphic layer, and for each feature we also created like the ID, and we got the attributes to show it. And you can do anything you want using this process. So I want you to know that there is hundreds of thousands probably methods and classes and things here. There's so many things that you can create. I want you to keep in mind that whatever you are using on ArcGIS Online, like if we open ArcGIS Online organization here, basically ArcGIS Online organization or ArcGIS Online already created using the JavaScript APIs. Like it's basically anything you can work on a map here. If I go to the content and I opened any map viewer, any map in a map viewer, anything that you can do on the map, you can do it on your custom application. And if I open this one here, And anything you kind of do on ArcMap or ArcGIS Pro, there must be a kind of way to do it using the JavaScript APIs. So here you can filter, is like we have a filter class you can use. Here we have perform analysis, you can do analysis. We did the editing, the editor widget, something similar to this, so you can choose which one to edit and if you want to add. Going back here, you can reorder your layers in the layer list. You can add the home button and the location, show my location, find my location button. You can hit the Basemap gallery is here, we added that too. So most of the things that you can do on the map, let's say for example I want to do measurement, there is a widget for measurement here. You can go to the API reference and you're gonna find widget for measurement, and now you know exactly how to add your widget to your map. So here we have measurement. So this is not all the widgets, by the way. All the widgets exist here, but this is the most common used widgets. They are shown it here as an example, but you can find more widgets right here. So that's it for all what I want to cover in the JavaScript APIs. What I'm going to show you in the next video is what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the same application using JavaScript APIs 3x to show you just the differences between them. And in the same time, I'm going to show you and I'm going to talk and discuss about what's the difference between JavaScript API 4 and JavaScript API 3 and why Esri decided to create 4 after they have 3. So that will be our discussion in the next video. And if you have any questions about any of the code, this code will be included in the course folder, so you're gonna have access to this code. Each video have its own application and its own code process, and from there you can add to the code, you can change it, you can do whatever you want. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the description or like in the comments below, and I will make sure to answer you as soon as I can. Thank you so much, and I hope that gets you excited to start like creating your JavaScript applications and learn more. It's like a big ocean and there's so many things to learn. And if you have any questions, I'm here to help you, I'm here to support you. And thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.